In this video, I'm going to try to tell you why I think Valrico, Florida is one of the best places to live near Tampa. It's great for families of all kinds, whether that means you and your cats or you and your spouse and a bunch of kids. I'm going to do my very best to tell you all you could ever want to know about Valrico, Florida. Hey everyone, my name is Amy Smith. I'm a real estate broker here in Tampa, Florida. When I meet someone and they ask me where I live, I say Tampa, but very specifically, I live here in Valrico. As someone who sees a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of Tampa suburbs, in my humble opinion, Valrico is one of Tampa's suburb hidden gems. Valrico was founded in the 1880s, originally called Valrico Station. It was renamed in 1904 as just Valrico, but the tremendous growth that this area has experienced really only happened in the last 30 or 40 years, going from a population of less than 7,000 to almost 70,000. Valrico is located in Hillsborough County, about 15 miles east of Tampa. It's directly adjacent to Brandon, Florida. And this is a good time to add that even though today I'm talking about Valrico, there are things both good and bad about living in Florida that I'm not going to go into detail about, but you can check out in this playlist that has a couple of videos that still hold true about the cost of living in Florida, and reasons to move to Florida, and reasons I love Tampa, even now in 2023. I have also done a video before on both Valrico and Brandon that you can check out. If I don't answer all of your area-specific questions today, please just comment below and I'll do the best I can to answer. Okay, back to Valrico. So Valrico's location, as I mentioned, 15 miles east of downtown Tampa, is one of the best things about it, actually. Because of its prime location between Tampa and Orlando and its proximity to the coast, you have access to all the amenities of these areas. So that means you're close to all the great things about Tampa: healthcare, dining, shopping, attractions like Busch Gardens, the zoo, the aquarium, awesome sports teams, Go Bolts, concerts. And not only those, but you can also easily get to Lakeland or Orlando, and then there's a whole host of other activities. Lots of people in this area, in Valrico, take advantage of being Universal or Disney pass holders. It's really no problem to hop over to Orlando for the day or for the evening. And then water access. From Valrico, if you want to enjoy time on the water, you have several options. You can be in Apollo Beach, Fort DeSoto, Anna Maria Island, or even Clearwater or St. Pete Beach in an hour-ish. Then down in Ruskin or Gibsonton, you have easy access to fishing or boating or kayaking. There are also numerous parks nearby with river access, again, kayaking or fishing or a nature walk. For other things to do nearby, there are wineries like Keel and Curly over in Plant City. There are breweries, lots and lots of small breweries. You can tour the Yuengling facility for a really big one, distilleries, museums of all kinds, theaters, botanical gardens. There's countless other things to do in this area. Now, most of these, especially the big attractions, aren't located in Valrico because Valrico is really a tiny little area which is almost entirely residential. In my way of thinking, this is a great thing because I have all the amenities I want or need really close at hand, but where I live is really peaceful and quiet. But let's talk about the very local in Valrico attractions and amenities. An easy example for shopping: I do all of my grocery shopping less than 2 miles from my house in Valrico, and I have so many options: Publix, Sprouts, Fresh Market, Walmart, Winn-Dixie. But because it's close by, I can also run over to Sam's if I want. It's in Brandon, but it's only 10 or 15 minutes away. There are other places to shop in Valrico aside from just groceries. PetSmart or Ace Hardware, Ross, Home Centric, Beals. There are consignment shops and thrift shops, and I know that there are some small boutique shops, but there are not a lot. But there are some. If you know of some, please comment below. There's a Valrico Sunday market that has started up again. It kind of closed for a while during COVID, but that's back, and it's always a fun thing to go do. Right now, there's also a pop-up flower and plant market. There are always seasonal pop-ups for pumpkins, Christmas trees, fireworks. For dining, there is any chain restaurant you can kind of think of, but of course there are a lot of locally owned small restaurants as well. Too many for me to list them all, just a very few of the ones that we like to go to: Gasparilla's Pizza and Growlers, The Landing, The Brunchery. There are local coffee and tea shops, donut shops, sushi, Thai food, pretty much anything you would like to eat is close enough to DoorDash and have it still be warm. What else is there to do in Valrico? The first thing that comes to mind is golf. I can't speak to these places personally because I don't play golf, but I know that there are several places to play because I see them all over the place. River Hills Country Club, Bloomingdale Golf Club, Buckhorn Golf, Diamond Hills Country Club, and they're all right here within just a few miles of each other. There's a lot of options for fitness: Orange Theory and Cycle Bar, eSporta, LA Fitness, Pure Bar, Crush. I'm sure there are others. There are numerous parks with play equipment or ball fields and even water access. I mentioned kayaking earlier, and you can actually rent kayaks and canoes right here in Valrico at the Alafaya Canoe Rental. It's really close to Lithia, which is a beautiful area, and it's a very pretty spot in Valrico. Okay, let's talk about Valrico schools. There are 4 high schools in Valrico, depending on where you live, of course. There's Brandon High School, which ranks a B-, Durant High School, which gets an A-, Newsom High School, which gets an A, and Bloomingdale High School, which also gets an A, and these are from niche.com. For more about Tampa high schools, I have a video where I go into more detail about the top 10 high schools in the Tampa area. Of course, there are a lot of elementary and middle schools as well, and they're all nestled in and around the many housing developments that make up Valrico. Some of them rank better than others, of course. My kids are older, so I don't have firsthand experience with the elementary schools, but many of them have a very good reputation. So I just mentioned the housing developments in Valrico, and that's most of what you're going to find in Valrico, our neighborhoods. It's highly residential. You can see in some of the video here that it's just subdivision after subdivision. Many of them are linked by one kind of major road with lots of sidewalks and parks. So this obviously makes it a great place for anyone who wants an active lifestyle, walking, running, biking, or just something peaceful. It's a very peaceful place with families of all shapes and sizes. All right, just a little about Valrico's housing market and what kind of houses are for sale right now. So first I thought I'd show you all the current listings for 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses in Valrico. So with those search parameters, there are 25 houses for sale today that are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and they range in price from $299,900 to $739,000 for a house that's located on 8 acres. Let's also take a look at a 4-bedroom house with a pool, since as I've mentioned in some of my other videos, pools are a really big deal. Right now there are only 21 houses for sale with those criteria, and they range from $393,000 to $760,000. Now, how do houses in Valrico compare to houses in surrounding areas? This chart shows the average sold per month price in Valrico for the last year. Now these numbers go up and down because it just depends on what houses happen to be for sale. This is not to be confused with changes in the real estate market. So let's look at how Valrico stacks up against other areas in the same time period. These are areas that are very close by to Valrico. First, Brandon, Florida. You can see that the sold values in Valrico for the past year are generally higher. Then if we add Riverview, the prices are still higher in Valrico. If we go out east to Plant City, the prices are higher. Lakeland and even Winter Haven, the Valrico sold values for the past year are considerably higher. The only adjacent area with higher sold prices is Lithia, which I mentioned earlier. And you can see they are quite a lot higher. I have a video here about Lithia, and I'll be doing a new video about Lithia very soon. Lastly, what are housing options for under $350,000? Well, not a lot, honestly, but there are some. Right now, there are currently 14 properties for sale under $350,000. That's 5 townhouses, a condominium, and 8 single-family homes. I think you can probably tell that I really like living in Valrico. I love living in Florida in general. Sunshine and warm, stable temperatures almost year-round, and lots of things to do, and friendly people. I can genuinely recommend it. But I certainly don't think it's perfect. I don't think any place is perfect, but Valrico is crowded. That holds true for any area around Tampa. Of course, the only real problem that creates is traffic. You can see in some of the video that the roads are sometimes really narrow, and I mentioned how quickly the population grew. When there are long lines of cars, especially around schools and at stop signs in the mornings or evenings, it can be very annoying. But in general, I have no real complaints about Valrico. I really like it. I hope I've answered all your questions about Valrico and what it would be like to live here and why I think it's a great place to live around Tampa. But please comment below or reach out to me directly if you have any specific questions about moving to the area or moving to Florida. I'd love to help. Thanks so much for watching.